Happy Saturday, YouTube family, you guys. I'm bringing you guys another awesome episode. I'm bringing back our amazing guest that I did an interview with her back in like August. So if you guys haven't seen her first subscriber, first wholesale deal interview, remember to go check it out. She pours a ton of knowledge. Also too is I'm bringing her back because I'm starting to do this. Seems like you guys do like it, where I bring some of our subscriber first wholesale interview back to kind of see where they're at in their business and where they took the business to. All right. Now, Christine I interviewed her in August for her subscribe first wholesale deal. Like I said, it's sometime back in August or so. And she took the business to over 6-figure. I think she made over like 140 G's already in just wholesaling. Just super, super amazing. So I'm going to bring her back on to share with you guys where she took the business, what's her, all the good nuggets and things like that. And so listen up, you guys. V, what up? Happy Saturday.
Hi, happy Saturday. So it's so strange seeing you with that microphone. I feel like I'm on a radio show.
Yeah, I know. It's like when I have this microphone, it does make me feel like I'm like more professional, like I'm a radio guy. I keep on leaning towards it, and I have people comments like, "Khang, you already have a microphone. I don't know why you're screaming." For those of you who don't hang out with much Asian, we scream. The more we scream, the more we love each other. So,
oh, that's funny. So I know.
So V, let's just jump right into it. Let's jump right into it where you started out. For those of you who don't know, Christine started out, she doesn't know anything about real estate, and then just kind of share people where you're at right now.
Okay, so I started out really not knowing anything. I told you I came from retail, from the mall, but I had a lot of years of experience with sales and marketing, but I was always working for someone else. So that started on June 15th. I think you interviewed me in August. It was 2 months. And at that point I had done 60,000. So since then, I was looking through my records now. Since then, September, I did 45. October, I did 35. In October, I didn't even really market. It was all referrals from past deals. I felt kind of bad because I could have done more, but I was kind of lazy because they were coming to me. I know it's terrible to say, but October was like a really freaky month. I was closing on a deal from September, and we went to do a final walkthrough at the house. And the lady says to me, "Oh, so, you know what? I have a friend." And I said, "Oh, okay, give them my number." They called me that night, and the next day we did the contract. Then I got a call the following day. This all happened like in 1 week. The following day, someone called me who was a neighbor of the people's. And they said, "Hey, I know you just sold their house. This is a rental for us. We got to get rid of it because they're really in shady areas. So we want to get rid of ours too. Can you do that?" I actually ended up selling that one, and then they referred me to their cousin. So I had 3 deals in October. It came to, what was it? It was 35,000, and each one was connected somehow. They knew each other. And I had 2 buyers. One guy bought 2, and then the other guy bought 1. So it was like just a fluke. It was a fluke. But I can't really say that because November, which we just came out of, I had 2 deals, and one was a referral from one of those in October. And then the other one I actually marketed. But I've been doing a lot of referral work. So this month I got to like put on gear and do some marketing. So I did driving. I saw a house today that we're going to put under contract. I went this morning. So we're going to do that tomorrow. And I already have a buyer for it. It's one of my usual buyers. So that's one for December.
Oh.
But right now, if you count what I've cashed, like I sent you my checks to show you.
Yeah.
What I've cashed has been 140. But I haven't, obviously November's didn't close yet. So that's another 35. So I'm at 170. I'm at 175. So I'm really going to try to get to 200. That's my goal. Before this I got 25,000 I need to do. And this house today wasn't that much. It's only 5. So I got to do 20,000 more for December to hit 200,000. That's how I want to end the year. That's my goal. At the end of the year at 200,000.
You guys, all the girls out there, smash that thumbs up for V, for the girl power.
It's you know, and I had someone call me or email me today, and it was a girl, and she watches she says, oh, I'm so glad to see a woman doing it. And I said, yeah. I go, I don't see that many, but there's really no reason that you can't. I mean, I don't know, there's just nothing stopping a woman from doing this. And I think sometimes it works to our advantage, you know, I think so. And I'm just surprised that more women, I want them to go out there and know that they can do it. Don't feel like it's always guys, because I know a lot of the mentors and the people that have the channels are men. I can't think of any women actually. And so that might make you feel like, oh, it's a man's. No way. It is easy. You just have to be fair with the people, know your script, and I followed everything you told me. That is what worked. And I have to thank you, because I never would have been able to do it, because I read books that same time period, but your videos are priceless. They really are. And then the group, you know, the group is great too, because you can spin ideas off of people. I was just watching your interview with Jack Buys Houses, and you know, when he was telling, and it is true, I got one like he did early on, but we both had sales experience. So don't be discouraged if you don't, because I know some people don't get them as quickly. But once you do, the ball gets rolling. And you have to remember to always ask really important questions. The referrals never would have came to me if I didn't, and I always ask, do you know someone else that wants to sell? Do you have other houses? I do a lot of investment properties. So they're like kind of in war zone areas, and maybe they're like 2 floors. And I always say to them, because a lot of those people do have more than one. You might have called them, or they might have called you about one, but they may have another one. If you don't ask, you're never going to know. Sometimes they don't volunteer that information. And if someone turns you down, like you get a call and they're like, no, the number doesn't work for me, I always ask if they know someone, or if a neighbor or someone's interested. You have to ask, because you never know where you're going to get a referral from. You can't be shy about asking for business, because they're just not going to say, oh, by the way, you have to ask. And when you do, you'd be surprised. People say, oh yeah, you know, the lady down the street's older and she's thinking of selling, or whatever they tell you. Then you have to follow up on it. But you have to ask people. That's key too. And following everything, you have taught me all the basics. You know, the script is imperative. I mean, I've been listening to some of the live calls that people that don't have the script, and you're right. You think you know what you're doing, but you know, you're just stuttering. You're just stuttering around. Or if you don't know the script, like people think a script is going to sound scripty, but it doesn't once you know it. It's just a matter of putting your own little spin into it, but getting the basics. I mean, everyone's going to put their own personality into it, but you have to know the basics. You have to ask them what their name is. That would be first. I see that all the time. People don't ask the person what the name is. They just start going off on something. I'm like, okay, think about this logically. You have to know the property's address. All those things, though, you learn when you get the script, and it becomes embedded in you. You know, that's the first thing I say is I introduce myself, I get their name, I ask them a property address. I want to know that, and a phone number I can call them back at. Those are like just basics. And then just going from there. So if you think you know what you're doing without the script, you probably don't. Because it's just, and it won't sound scripty once you know it. You just go through it, but it helps me not to forget to ask the questions. So it's been invaluable.
Gotcha. And V, I want to say thank you so much for all the kind words that that you just said. And V, you guys, it's all her. She took the information and she took massive action. It just happens my video to be there, but V, I want to say thank you so much. And V, you guys, she added so much value into the group. V, I just don't know how else to say thank you. But thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I really truly appreciate all of your time and effort and help that you help out the Facebook group.
Well, yeah, I want to give back. And I told you I was just watching Jack, and he's right with, we are a family, and I want to give back. There's times still that I'm kind of, something will go on. I've had a couple titles that have been screwed up and it's taken longer to close. People didn't tell me about something and then it pops up on the title and we've got to have it cleared. Things like that kind of threw me for a loop because I didn't see that coming. But we are family, and tough love, he mentioned, and I had a laugh at that because it's true. Because sometimes people will say, well, I'm not getting any deals, but they're calling like 10 people a week. So, and I want to say, you've got to listen to Khang. Okay, you're on here for a reason. You're on here to learn, so you have to listen. You can tell someone till they're blue in the face, but if they don't follow it, if they don't take that action, then they're going to just stay still. And I'll say, follow what he told you. It's, do 200, not 20. I mean, you might get lucky with 20, but the chances are slimmer. Okay, you just need to increase that. And I've watched every single video. I swear I've watched them all. And I refer people to that. So if you're out there, you contacted me and I'll say, oh, and I'll send them a link to your video. I don't answer the questions sometimes. I just send them the link. I'll say, here's the information, boom. And the reason I do that is because I want you to take action yourself. If it's something that's really common, like how do I talk to a realtor? Or you have all kinds of videos on there. I send them the link and I go, Khang has talked about this one. Here you go. And if you have any specific questions, get back to me because I don't mind that, but I want you to do the work. I want you to get in the habit of that. I think it helps in the long run because this is a job where you have to do that. Look, you have to do the comps. You have to do all that. Someone can't do that for you, and so that's where the little tough love comes in. I feel sometimes it's like, Khang's got it there, here, and once you do it, get back to me. And I hope that it helps people to get used to looking for the information because it's all there. You just got to find it. And then, of course, we're all going to encourage you to go forward with it. That's the biggest thing because some people are afraid of the phone, and I understand that. I get that. So you need that encouragement. And we're there, role playing is the best thing. I love your role playing ones. That really does help because then when you're talking to a real person, they can't throw you when they say, like sometimes I'll hear you say, well, I wanted to know what you're going to give me for the house. And a lot of times people are like stuck. They're like, I don't even know what to say to that. So if you role play it enough, when it happens in real time, you're going to just spit out the answer. You're going to say the right thing. It's not going to, you probably it happened to you when you first started. You got stuck when someone surprised you. Like, well, you called me, I didn't call you. And you're like, what? What do I say to that one? But by now, I'm just, it's practice makes perfect. You just have to keep doing it. And you can't be afraid. Someone hangs up on you. Someone doesn't want to talk to you. You can't let that discourage you. You've got to go to the next call. You can't sit still. This is a business where you can't sit still. You got to keep moving if you want to keep closing deals. It's not a part-time. It's not a part-time thing. At least not for me. I want to make this go.
Right. You guys, everything V just said, I agree 100,000%. Because you guys, a lot of times, just like V said, she wants you to do the work. Most people just want to ask so they can get the answer instead of going, spend some time doing some work, doing some research. They want it handed to them. And you know what I mean? Some people are like that. They just want to hand it to them. And, it's like you got to do the work. The information's out there. And you guys, and the reason why I started the whole cold call thing, the whole cold call role playing thing with you guys. Now, this is from you guys. It's not trying to sell you guys. This is for those of you who want to take your business, your life to the next level. All right. I'm sharing this with you because it makes such a huge impact on me and my business. All right. And I'm only selling this to those of you who needs this and who wants this. All right. It's not for everybody, but I'm telling you, the biggest thing that ever changed my business and really took off is when I started to get more information and know how to talk to seller. To me, I can lose on everything about the marketing, the hiring VA, knowing the system, all of that. But I cannot lose how I talk to seller the day, like what I know how to talk to seller today. That's the one thing that I want to keep. Because if you don't have money, but you know how to talk to seller, you know how to ask the right question, you know how to handle the objections, you know how to negotiate with them. The communication is the key to locking you up on the contract, you guys, because if you don't have money for marketing, you can go drive for dollars. You can go jog for dollars. You can go drive your bike for dollars. You can go door knocking. You can go networking. You can go to the local RIA. But if you are just don't know what to, if you guys get on the cold call, for those of you who have my King Kong Seller Script package, you know exactly what I mean. When I first started, that's how I was, V. I did not know. I thought I was good, right? But it took me 6 months to get my first deal. And it wasn't even through with the seller, because I did not know what to say and how to control the phone call. So I just came off like amateur, came off a little scammy.
Right.
Like once the seller can sense that and felt that, like even on the cold call, V, like they couldn't even took me from the first call to even evaluate if I'm motivated to actually set an appointment or actually, it's like.
And that's another thing that I want to mention, because people ask me, and I'm pretty adamant about. I probably said this, whether if you contact me through YouTube or if you contact me through our group, people will say, "Is this a deal?" And the person, in other words, they've got a tire kicker. So, but they're asking about it, and I'll be like, "No, it's not." Call them back, follow up. That's fine. Put me in your follow-up center, but stop wasting time. So the script also does teach you that, to give you the confidence to find out if it's a deal or not, or if they're motivated or not. And if they're not, then you need to cut it off. And I think you've even done one like that where you were pretty adamant that you were just a tire kicker, but the person kept going and you were like, well, this is the point where you should have said, it has to make sense for everyone. And you kind of you end it. And you follow up with them, but you can't waste a half hour, 45 minutes on the phone, or I think your mindset gets really bad if you're going home thinking about it and it's not a deal. You need to know when to cut things loose. And I've told people that, and I think some people think it's a little harsh, and they're like, well, I can keep trying. I'm like, no, you're beating a dead horse sometimes. Not everyone is going to sell wholesale. It's just not going to happen. I think it's the minority, because if you have, or the deal sounds ridiculously good and you haven't seen the house, I always question those. Like they're telling you it needs nothing. It's worth $400,000 and I'm going to give it to you for $50,000. I'm like, yeah, what's wrong with that picture? Common sense says you would sell it retail then. So I'm thinking the roof is in, something's wrong here. And we've all had those where you went out to the house or you actually saw the pictures and it was not what they told you. You can't focus on things that are not deals. That's my big thing. I cut loose real fast and then I just move on. I don't let it get me down. I realize that some people are going to lie to me about the condition of the house or whatever, and I move on to the next one. And then I follow up. Or some people are just not ready to sell. They're calling you because they saw the sign or they got your message and they just really want to know what they could get. Or they think that their neighbor got this amount, so they think that's what they're going to get. So you have to learn that, and the script does teach you that. You've taught us that, to find out the motivation and then make a decision. Either you go with it or you don't, and then you move on. And that's a big one for me. Also, the script helps you talk to buyers, because a lot of buyers are also sellers. That's mine. I have a lot of people that I've sold to that I know I've flipped that house, turned around and sold. The buyer bought from me and he got a good price. I made $10,000, but then I know, because I work with him again, that he took that house and he sold it to a friend or to another investor. He made like $5,000 on it. So it's none of my business. I don't care. I got paid and he moves on with this, what he wants to do with it. But it helps you talk to your buyers because you're more confident too, because they can smell it too. It's like blood in the water when they know that a wholesaler doesn't know what they're doing. If they know you don't know about ARV, you don't understand that, that's what I think you could get cut out of a deal too, because they're going to go behind you. You have to know how to talk to the seller, but you have to understand what you're saying to them too. You have to really know how to figure out the numbers. The numbers are key, because if you give a buyer the wrong numbers, and they're way off, I mean, there has to be due diligence on their part, but if you're way off, like you didn't research it, again with the research, if you didn't do the work and the buyer finds out, they're not going to deal with you anymore because they're going to think either you're trying to rip them off or you just don't know what you're doing. And for me, that was key. That's when I really started watching your videos about, I can do and tell you if it's a deal or no deal like that. I mean, I've always been good at math, but I can do the numbers now. I know what to do. I know the formula. Know the formula. Please, everybody know the formula. Like study it like you're in school. Know that you take the ARV and then, you know, you subtract, and don't forget to subtract your fee, and make sure that you understand, because I think you do something about that, that repairs are usually always needed in wholesale deals. We're not wholesaling perfectly done houses because that person would go retail. Okay, so you have to understand if someone says to you, oh no, my house, I've lived there for 40 years, it doesn't need any work, just the paint. That's probably not that. You have to either get pictures. I love that you said you can get pictures because I have done it, gotten pictures from them. That's another thing, learning to talk to them, to get them to send you the pictures. You have to know, and you have to be realistic. If it needs a full new kitchen, it's not $2,000. If they say, oh, it's $2,000 of work. Okay, what do you need? Oh, a full new kitchen and a full new roof. Well, that's not $2,000. And when you know the prices and you know the area and you tell that to the seller, they're more likely to come down because you've just told them what the price is. You're not hemming and hawing. Oh, okay. You know, you can split it up. Well, you know, a new roof in this area is about 10,000. Kitchen's about 7. Okay, so let's take that. And they're like mind boggled that you know this, and you're the professional then, and they go along with you. You're like, oh, okay, that's what it costs. Oh, okay, and that's how you get the price down. Knowing, you need to know what those things are. So when you're talking to the seller, they say, oh, well, you're the professional. You know what it costs, and they'll go lower. You're not just making it up off the top of your head. And I don't let them tell me. I ask them what it is that needs fixed, not how much, because it doesn't matter what they think how much. You know, they may not have done a repair. They think it's just paint and it's $100, and that's just not the case. So I always ask what it is, and then I tell them what the rate in my area is for that. And I just add it into the figure. But that's all things I learned from you. It's all on you. You know, you've taught us all of that.
V, awesome, V. Hey, V, thank you so much, you guys. And so if when I say this, if it's you, comment below. So when V said that you guys are, you know, some people are working on a deal when it's not even a deal and they try to make it a deal, let me tell you, if it's you, comment below, smash the thumbs up and let me know.
And be honest.
And be honest. When I first started, I was that person. And let me tell you why. Because I didn't have enough deal coming in. So I'm trying to focus on this one deal because that's all I got. Okay, you're trying to focus on this 1 or 2 deal because that's all the deal that you got coming in. Or maybe you have tried to call a couple people, you're trying to do your thing, but maybe only 1 or 2 of this deal respond to you. So you're trying to stay focused on it, and you're trying to work it, and you're trying to negotiate and get them down on price when it's not even a deal. And if I say that, if it hits you, let me know. And the thing is, you guys, that tells you one thing, that you're not taking massive action enough to create more deals that coming into your flow. Because when you get a bunch of deals coming in, you just don't care. If it's not the deal, it's not a deal. You, just like V said, you set the follow up and you just move on. You don't try to work it and work it and work it. You definitely want to follow up, right? Because people change their mind, but don't try to work it. Just move on to find other deals.
Yeah, you need to say, you know, that you'll follow up, because like you said, things change. What happens sometimes, and I've had it happen to me, is the deal's not a deal at the time. And the person's sure this is what they want, and it's ridiculous. But I'll follow up in 2 months, and circumstances have changed. Winter's coming, they're thinking, I'm not gonna sell it, or they need the money more. You know, after a couple months, they need the money more. So now they're more negotiable, they're more motivated. So you kind of wait them out until they're more motivated, because that's all you can do. It has to make sense. The money part has to make sense, or it's not a deal. So you do definitely want to follow up. Now, you don't want to follow up like every week. I've seen that where people go, oh, should I call them every week or should I call them? You don't want to make someone crazy. You want to follow up in a month, maybe 2 weeks, maybe a month, and you want to keep that in mind because things do change. But you just have to know, the most important things I can tell people that the reason I do deals is I know the numbers, so I know if it's a deal or not. I cut it loose, and talking to the seller, I'm sure that, and empathizing with them if they're in a bad situation. You know, if they need the money or if they just want to get out of it, you have to listen to them and talk to them, have a conversation with them. You can't just spurt out, you know, like go through a list. That's the thing about the script. It tells you all the basics and it lets you know what you need, but you have to put your personality in there and you have to be real with these people. You're a real person, they're real people. So you have to listen. And if you listen to them, a lot of times they'll give you clues to whether they're motivated or not. They'll say, you know, well, I'm planning on moving to Florida, or my mom's going into a nursing home, or whatever it is. You have to really listen to them in order to find out if that's something that's going to continue, or if it's something that there's just no way, they're just calling you because they're tire kicking. Because they'll tell you that too sometimes. They'll be like, yeah, you know what, I really don't need to sell. I just want to know what price you were going to give me. Yeah, you kind of know then too, and when to walk away. So those are very important things, to really listen, to ask for referrals, and to make sure, oh, there's one more thing I have to say, to make sure you're marketing to the right people too. I know that when you look on YouTube and all these other things, you see these people that are doing, and I know Khang does that, it's like 50,000, 60,000, but that doesn't happen right away for most people. I mean, there are a couple of people that maybe you do get that 50,000 deal depending on where you live. The highest I've gotten is 20 something, but like Jack, I was just watching his, I started limiting myself like 5,000. I was happy, 5,000. Hey, I was doing 5,000 deals, 2, 3 of them. I was glad. But now I've gotten a little bolder where the minimum I do now is 10. So I did move up, but I'm targeting houses that are under 100,000. They're about that range because I know that we do have houses that are higher here, 300, 400,000, but most of those people want retail. They're in really great neighborhoods, you know, people want, so it depends on what their motivation is. You have to be sure that they're motivated when you get up into the higher numbers. And then because they have to drop the price, you have to make it. I do only cash. I don't do any of that buyer, you know, financing and all that crazy stuff. Like you said, I stick to the cash deal, boom. So you just have to know that you're telling someone, well, you're gonna buy a cash deal. It is a lot easier if it is, you know, not $500,000 in cash. A lot of people aren't walking around with $500,000 in cash to a house to rent it out probably. So unless it's a real good flip. But in the most cases, I do what you say. I keep it like that 80 to 120,000 because I know then I can get it down and it leaves me some way. So 10,000, 15,000 every time. If you do a few a month, you'll just get there. I mean, you have to take the deal. And you can't, I don't want to say you're overreaching, but you can't just go for those big ones. You have to understand that the median around 100,000 or a little more or a little less is a good place to be. Don't get so obsessed that you think, oh, I've got to go after $500,000 homes, because those take time and they have to be very motivated. I'd have to be very motivated to get rid of my $500,000 home for 100,000. What are you, crazy? I mean, that house would have to be falling down. So think of it that way, that you want to go after realistic goals, realistic homeowners. They have to be motivated and it has to be a reason. You can't just think that everyone's going to say yes to you. And if you try and market to the right people, I think it really helps. You're not getting as many no's, or you're getting people that are at least interested in that. So that's another thing that I've noticed, that people are trying to get these $50,000 commission, assignment fees. And I'm like, well, that's great. And, that's wonderful, but you're doing like 4 of those and you're not getting any. I'd rather have 3 $10,000 ones and, do that.
Agree. You guys, so let me share something with you guys. Just like V said, those big one, we call them the well deal, right? The big deal. It doesn't come all the time, you guys. Like my average deal is probably between 25 to 30,000 because I'm in, a little bit of a higher market. But those big deals doesn't come all the time. So yes, just like V said, there are people like, you know what, I want to target bigger one because I want a bigger paychecks. And you guys got to understand how much, there's more people having $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 than $500,000 to $1 million. But, there are buyers and things like that. It's just, you just have to really work the market. But if me personally, I'm just like V. If I have a choice, I would have target lower end home, pick an area. If you can virtually pick a lower end home and then target those.
Right. And you know what? You will, especially if they're for rentals, you will sell them fast. And I always tell people that one too, Khang, is they'll be like, well, I've got this under contract. Then they want to jump right to a JV. They'll contact me or they'll contact someone. They'll go, oh, I've got this under contract. Can you JV with me? I need a buyer. And first thing I always say is, did you even try? Because if it's a real deal, I'll tell you, I mean, I can help you, but then we're going to JV and I'm going to get part of it. Don't contact anyone. I'll tell them, try it. Don't be afraid because it's your first one. Get out there, market it. Give it at least a week before you jump in and want to JV with someone, because you can probably do it. If it's a deal on the paper and in numbers and you know it's a deal, do not jump in for a JV. Don't go on every website asking someone to help you. Just market it. And I'm telling you, if it's a deal, buyers will come to you. They really do. When they see it, they know it's a deal. This is what they do. They're like, wow, okay. And the thing is, you may have 2 or 3 buyers contact you. Maybe one will buy it. Maybe they don't, and you have to keep going. Every time a buyer contacts you, get their information. Because they may contact you, and maybe it's just not the neighborhood they want, but now you've got them on the phone. Hello, why aren't you like going on to them? Well, what area do you like? Do you do singles or doubles? I mean, now you've got them. It's like, oh, well, you know what? Why don't we try? But I do it backwards sometimes like that. When the buyer contacts me, even though they're not buying this one, I'll start asking them questions. And then I particularly look in that area that's where my next marketing is, where he just told me or she just told me that they like to buy. And I'm like, oh, well, hello, you just gave me a roadmap. I'm taking it. And then I'll look in that area and then I'll contact them back. And I've had them say, oh, good. Okay. And then they bought the deal. They are telling you exactly what they want. So you have to take advantage of buyers calling you. They may not buy that deal, but then you go out and find them one. And that's what I do. I go backwards sometimes.
Love it, V. Love it, V. Love it. Hey, V, I really like your background. Your background is way better than mine. It feels much more holidays. Love it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He's got the tree up.
Yeah, love it. So, V, now let's get into the juice. Is that we all want to know is that where are most majority of your leads it's coming from right now?
Okay, so I do mostly driving for dollars. That is what I do. And not because I can't do the marketing. I am scaling up though after the first of the year. I'm putting money aside to really do a big list because I didn't want to do like a half. I didn't want to do halfway, or really. I wanted to scale up after the first of the year. So I've been putting money, because you got to put the money back into the business. So I've been putting money away to put back into the business after the first. So right now I do driving for dollars primarily. I did pull some lists and I found that when I did that, like a blank list, I couldn't do enough because at the time I didn't have the money in the beginning. And it was people that I'm a control freak. I got to see the house. Even ones that I've done virtually, I can see, I look it up, I do all this research, I Google it, I do everything in that area to see it, got satellite and everything. And I feel better. So it's still at this point where I need to know that it's the deal. I haven't maxed out just, big lists yet. That's what I'm going to do after the first year. That's why I put the money away, because I want to train a VA. So that's my next step, is to have someone else doing these calls. That's why the script was so important to me, because I couldn't train someone to do it. If you don't know what you're doing, how the heck are you going to train someone else to do it? I mean, if you don't have it down word for word, you cannot teach someone else how to do it. So I love when you say that your wife, she sits with them, they go over it, they role play, and they know it inside and out. They don't have to be from here. It doesn't matter where they're from. If you know that script, they should be able to get close. They should be able to get you that appointment. And that really intrigued me because I know that's true from a sales background because I've trained people how to approach people. So I thought, well, I'd have to know Khang's script inside and out. I should be doing it in my sleep so that I can train someone else how to do it. And that's my big goal, is to scale up with someone else doing the hard work, that kind of work. And I come in for the other. That's my goal now for the new year.
Love it, love it. You guys, I remember when the first time V connected with me, her goal was to take her business, right? This is when she first started, haven't closed a deal. She said, Khang, this is my goal. Take it to 100K a month.
Right.
And I said, dang!
That's my goal.
I think this
I've only made 45. 45's been my high. My low has been 30. My low's 30, my high is 45 right now. So I'm hoping after the first of the year, like if I can do another deal this month, which I will, I'll hit the 200,000 since then. But my goal is by spring, I want to be doing 50,000 a month consistently. I call it consistent if it's 3 months. So I do 30 now. But I want to be consistent at 50. And then by the end of next year, I want to be closest I can to 100,000. But I can't do that all by myself. I have to scale up because I would be working way ridiculous. I have to scale up to get there. And I understand that. So that's why I'm putting money aside for that. I don't just spend the money. I love that you did one. I don't remember, was it on your IG or what you did? You were talking about how you and your wife, you lived in the shack and, you just saved. And I don't live in a shack right now, but I don't overspend. Like I could go out and buy a really great car. I haven't done that yet. I'm waiting till next summer. But I'm not taking that 30,000 and saying, okay, well now let me go get a car. Let me do this. It's good to have to go back into the business to scale up. You can't, obviously when you first do it, the first couple of checks, you pay the bills. You're just excited that you got these big checks. And I paid off everything, paid bills in advance, stuff like that. But you have to put it back into the business. You can't get slap happy like that. You have to understand, I can't scale up to 50,000 to 100,000 without putting money back in, without getting a VA, without doing massive marketing. All that comes, but it takes money. I started with zero. I did not have anything. So I know you can do it from zero. I did it with Driving for Dollars. That's all. I did not have the money. I just got laid off. I did not have the money to fund the marketing. So I did what you did. I said, okay, well then I'm going to Drive for Dollars. I did very minimum. I took like $200 out, my last $200, and I bought, stamps and stuff, and I sent them out. And that first deal paid for, the next ones. But I'm really saving now to scale up. That's my big thing. Is save, so I can really knock it out of the park and hit that 50,000 to 100,000. Because it's true, it takes money to make money. You've got to. There's no way I can do it by myself. 100,000. I have to scale up. Mm-hmm.
Love it. V, like every topic that we hit, I agree with you. You're like speaking what's in my mind. Like you're talking. So it's like me thinking out loud. So you guys, my wife and I are going to take a trip to Vietnam in February of 2019. And when I go back to my country, I'm going to show you guys, for those of you who DM, who messaged me, who emailed and said, hey, Khang, I can't come up with the money. I do this. I don't have the money. I don't have the money. I don't have the money. I don't even have $100. I don't even have $20. Let me tell you guys something. All right. And if you guys hate me for this, but let me be real with you guys here. First of all, you got to look at yourself. I believe that you are where you are because of who you are. All right. Which means you're overspending. You're out there. You're living a lifestyle of all millionaires. I mean, right now in my family and friends, I'm surrounded by people that are spending way more than what they make. I believe that if you're here in America, if you have a job, you should not be able to say that you don't have money. because you don't have money, because you overspend, you're out there buying the things that you cannot afford. What I mean by you can't afford, because you're making, let's just say $20 an hour. You're buying things that cost you more than your hours. You know, you buy out there buying Louis Vuitton, you're buying Coach, you're driving a nice car. So the thing is, you know, my wife and I, when, you know, and it's funny how you brought up the whole we're living in a shack. So let me tell you guys something. You know, we don't have like nephew or niece that comes up and said, hey, Khang, Lon, show me the business. We will be more than happy to. But what it is, we want to make sure that they are ready. So the question that we ask them, we know that they're just not ready. And it's like when we tell them, you must have to sacrifice for what you want, for your dreams. Otherwise, what you want and your dream will be the ultimate sacrifice. You have to make sacrifice first. There's never in life, you guys, there's never something for nothing. As I try to build my audience, guess what I have to do? I have to put out the time, the content. There's never, you guys, you cannot expect it to live a good life and do things and have things and experience things that other can't. By you won't do what other won't, right? So so it's like, you know, we have nieces and nephew comes to us and say, well, Khang, Lon, I can't live in a shack. See, the thing is that for us at that time, that's what we need to do. I'm not saying that's what you need to do. That's what we needed to do for us, because of where we are at, our situation, our circumstance. That's for us. But for you guys, maybe for some of you guys have to downsize. You guys are out there, you cut up your spending, you cut up your partying nights. If you are a true entrepreneur, because as an entrepreneur, we're always thinking about our future, making it better. We want to live the lifestyle, do the things, buy the things, have the things that other people can't. But, you know, so we're willing to make sacrifices. So we're willing to do what's hard first, so that way our life can be easy. Most do what's easy, and that's why their life end up being hard, which means it's easy to go out there, not to, you know, to take a weekend off, go party, have fun, you know, you work, and then you save up a little bit of money. It's easy to every 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, take a vacation. It's easy when you get a price increase, you go out there, you buy the car that you like, or you go and buy a home that you cannot afford. Those, like, it's easy to go out there and have fun, you guys. It's easy to go out there, spend the money and have fun. The hard thing to do is not to do it, but your life will be easy, because you're not ending up with big bills. You're not living, you know, like you're not living, you know, you're living below your means. If you are spending more, there's no way you can make $1 million by the end of the year. You have nothing in the bank to show.
Right. And you know, that's funny that you mentioned that, because a lot of people get their first deal and then they never get other ones, because it's like they go and they spend the money on other stuff. They don't put it back into the business, into marketing. And I just remember seeing Warren Buffett, you know, the billionaire, and he was talking about, he lives in the same house. It's like a $500,000 house. It's a nice house, but this man can afford $1 billion house. But he lives in the same house as when he started. He said he had no need for anything else. It's a nice house. He didn't have a need to do that. He still drives, you know, the cars he wants to drive, but the money goes back into the business. And I remember that, and I'm thinking, that is the trick to getting, you know, what you want, is you have to invest it. It is easy to say, wow, I got this check for $10,000. I'm going to go on a vacation, or I'm going to, you know, blow it. Maybe you do need a new car, you know, something to get around in, but you don't need that new car. You know, I mean, you need a newer car. And until you start making those sacrifices and saying, I'm going to put the money back into the business, and I see the value of that. Like, I do see the value of that, that I have to scale up, I have to do the marketing, and I have to have a VA. It's just, that's the way it is. I have to do the work for that, and I have to put the money back in there. I can't just spend the money on, you know, whatever I want to do. So I have to put $50,000 back into my business. I can't take $50,000 and go buy a car. That's just not, I can't do it. It would be nice if I could, but I'm not there. Or someday I will be there where I won't seem that bad, you know? Like when you got your new car, I remember how excited you were. But that came after a long time of putting money back into the business and, you know, growing the business, and then you do that. You don't do that when you first start. You don't do that in your first 6 months, maybe not even in your first year. You've got to get that business. It has to become your priority. I find that I spend less now. It's kind of weird. I have more money and I spend less because I was making $50,000 a year when I was working for someone else. Now I've almost made $200,000 in 6 months. I spend less money than I used to spend because I'm always thinking I gotta bank it. I gotta put it in for the business because I'm gonna scale up. That my first year I'm gonna scale up. I'm researching all the companies I'm gonna use and stuff. I'm doing that. So I can't spend it. It would be nice to go on a little, on a crazy shopping spree, but can't, nope, because that does nothing for me. I have to put business first. And that's what I've been doing. I actually spend less now that I make more.
Yeah.
I just feel like I have to put it back and it's going to come back to me, much higher at that rate. But you have to do it. And it takes sacrifice to do it. And it takes patience. Mm-hmm. You can't have instant gratification here. Yep. You have to, you have to take those first couple deals and put them back. And I bought yours when I bought your script package when I really didn't have an extra $4.95 laying around. But I said to myself, you know what? I'm not going to eat out. I'm not going to Starbucks. And when I add all that up, things that I don't need, guess what? It came out to like $400 for a month. So I said, okay, that's it. I'm just going to have the script. I don't care if I eat ramen noodles this month. I'm getting the script because I know the next month when I get a deal, we'll have made it. And that's what I did. I live by myself, but I cut my bills in half. Like I was like, well, I don't really need that. And when I'm shopping, my grocery bill's like $100. I could probably knock it down to $50. So what? I buy all cheaper stuff. And I buy his script. And then when I'm successful with the script, it will have been worth it. Because that first deal was $8,000. And it was, you have to think about it that way. What are you willing to sacrifice right now to make, a couple months from now when you close, you're going to have so much more. I'm willing to sacrifice that $400 to get $10,000. If I said to you, Khang, give me $400 and in 2 months I'll give you $10,000, you would do it, right? So that's what I told myself. I said, it's an investment in myself and I have to do it. And I don't care. I did. I literally went my grocery bill. I thought, I don't need these hair products. All the little junk you buy all month, you don't even realize you're buying it. You're going through the store and you're like, oh, I'll take this. I'll take this. All of that adds up. And that's money you could be putting into investing in yourself. And that's what I tell people when they say, why doesn't Khang have a sale on his script? I'm like, it's really not that much when you think about all the money you waste throughout a month. Just do an inventory of that and stop doing that. Make that sacrifice. Make that sacrifice, cut down your phone plan, whatever it takes, you got to do, cut it down so that you can better yourself and make the business grow. The business growing is my number one thing now. I feel like a miser sometimes because I don't want to spend money, I do. I buy things for my daughter, like little things, like new shoes or something. Like where she says, "Oh, I like it," I'll buy that for her. But I don't go out and spend the money myself. I really am mising it up so that I can put it back in because I want to hit the 100,000, and I have to scale up to do it. And that's my big thing right now is just sacking it away.
Awesome. And you guys, let me tell you this: the bigger your goal. Listen, the bigger your goal, some of you guys, I want to be a multimillionaire, I want to be a billionaire. Listen to me. The bigger your goal is, the higher the price tag will be. You know what that means? Which means your sacrifices will have to be way more than other normal people, versus the one that said, hey, or their goal is like, hey, 5,000 a month or 10,000 a month. The one that said, I want to do 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, $1 million a month. Their goal has to be more because now the instant gratification, they have to sacrifice to, to buy the car that they want, the house that they want, because their goal is just way higher. So to get there, right, they got to reinvest the money back into the business and do things that other people won't. Now, I want to let you guys know that my wife and I, we like the fancy stuff. We like the big house, the car. We want to go on all the nice vacation, exotic vacation. We want to do things. So I want to let you guys know that Buffett is, but Buffett do his thing, right? But when we have the money, we want the nice car, the big house, the fancy, and all of that, all right? My wife, she likes the diamond and all the glitz. But let me tell you, we have made sacrifices so much to push back, just like V said, push back instant gratification. It's so nice for me, easy right now to go out. We could live in a big mansion, but we're not. We could go out there and buy a Ferrari, but we're not, because what we're doing is that instead of increasing our monthly spending, what we do is we increase how much we make per month, and we keep our monthly spending to 10%. So if you increase how much you make per month, if you keep that 10%, and most of you, I understand that you're not in the situation where you can only spend 10%. I understand that, because some of you guys you already start off on the wrong foot. You already behind bills. You already living paycheck to paycheck. But I'm saying start doing little. But basically what it is that, we just need to increase how much we make, keep that 10%. So if we want to spend 20, if you want to say, hey, you know what, one day I want to spend 20,000 a month. So all you need to make is 300,000. And I think I'm not even good with math. No, you need to make 200,000 a month. 200,000 minus 10%. That gives you that allows you to go out there and spend 20,000 a month, and you still stay under 10%. So that's kind of my wife and I, that's kind of our model of, we just need to increase. If we said, hey, you know what, next year or 2 year or 3 year from now, we want to be able to drop like 100 G's a month if we want to buy whatever we want, then we need to figure out, well, how much do we need to bring in a month to keep that at a 10%? So that's why our ultimate goal is to do $1 million a month.
Right, and that's so important. It's so important. I know that, like you said, a lot of people living paycheck to paycheck. I didn't have a paycheck. I was on unemployment when I started, and it was getting ready to run out, and I had to make a decision. I had to decide whether I was going to look for another job in retail or if I was going to go on my own. That was my decision. And it would have been so easy to say, because I had a lot of experience, and I would have found another job. But like you said, and it was my family too, we didn't have entrepreneurs in my family. My parents worked for a living. They worked for someone else. My aunts worked for a living. Everyone worked. No one owned their own business in my family. So for me, I didn't have that in my head that, wow, I should do this on my own, and the heck with working for someone else. I almost did it. I started to apply for jobs. And then I saw your channel, and I thought, okay, I can do this. And what's the worst? I was off unemployment. I had no income except for my savings. I said, either I'm going to take a job and work for someone else, or I'm going to take and invest in myself, learn this, and make it on my own and be free of that. And that's what I chose. That I had to, this for me, it was do or die. I was going to do it. I gave myself that time. I did everything you said, because if you don't take the action, it's useless. Because you can read everything, you can watch every video, but if you're not going to take action, then you're just sitting there rolling your thumbs. So I did everything, and when that first deal came and the money came in, it was like, whoo, $10,000. I had two, I had 8 and a 10. That's $18,000 I made in 1 month, because I did 60 and 2. I was like, wow. And it would have been so easy to just I did pay my bills up, but it would have been so easy to just blow it and not think about where the business was going to go. Then I said, okay, I took this step to become my own boss. Now I have to grow that business. I can't, 1 or 2 deals is not going to cut it. I have to grow this business, because this is something that I am going to continue to do. For me, it was not just a means to pay off my bills. It was, I want this business to grow, which means employees, which means, just like you said, you have to do the VA, you have to put it in there. So I knew that that was a sacrifice I had to make. I couldn't do instant gratification. Don't get me wrong, I did go out and buy cakes first. But other than that, I did buy one purse. That was only like $200. I figured, okay, I can do it. But, it wasn't anything crazy. But then I said, okay, that felt good, but I want to be able to do that all the time. Like you just said, I want to be able to do that all the time. So I can't let this just get me. I have to grow my business so that later on I can do that all the time. And that's what I did.
Yeah. You guys, like my wife and I, we want to be one day where we're like, okay, you know what? We just dropped 20 G's today, or 30 G's today, or 40 G's, or 50 G's, or 100K, and not have to worry about it. Right. So that's kind of a place there where we want to get into. So another thing is, I have people email me, comment me, DM me on Instagram. For those of you who haven't followed me on Instagram, hit me up on IG. Go to Khang, 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 dot like a period, WTM. They're like, Khang, you know what? I want this so bad. I'm ready. I'm motivated. I'm excited. I want it. Can you please just hook me up with the script? That's the only thing I'm missing. Come on, man. Come on. You said you want this. To me, if there is the will, there will be a way. If you say you want this and you come and you just want to ask things for free, it's you guys. Come on, man. It shows me that I mean, obviously, you know, you can't fool you can't fool anybody. You say you want it bad. This is what you want. You're motivated. Dude, you can cut out other things to have it. Trust me, when you get things for free, people don't value it. When you have skin in the game, you don't have a choice but keep moving forward. My wife and I spent 7 G's to a 3-day seminars. We knew that that's investment. The only way for us to get it back is we got to make it happen. We can't go back.
Yeah, you can't go back once you have to go forward. You can't think, okay, I got my first deal, and because I know there are people out there, because they contact me, that got one deal and then they haven't gotten another one in 6 months, and they're still trying to get that second deal, and they're not. Sometimes I think some of the motivation when the money comes in that first time, they think, oh, okay, and instead of growing with the idea, I got to grow the business, they kind of like very off sometimes, you know, because I'm thinking, okay, you got one. This should encourage you that you can do it. You know you can do it. You did it. So now you have to go forward. You have to use some of that money, and you have to have that same motivation. It's constant. I would imagine if you've done this 10 years, you're still going to have to keep that motivation up and keep putting back into it. It's an investment in yourself, and the alternative is working for somebody else. That's the bottom line. Either you work for yourself or you work for someone else.
Well said. And the thing is, V, you know, I just want to, man, you guys, I don't know, I don't know where this video is going, but hopefully this video is for those of you who are needing to hear this kind of things. All right, you guys, and I will get into the juice more of diving in with V a little bit more. But just like V mentioned earlier, she made the investment of buying the King Kong seller script package. In return, she knew that she made the $500 investment. She came out that her investment will come out more in return. Now, I think most people that don't make the investment is because they always think about what they're losing instead of what you're going to gain. And that's what also stops people beside, oh, do I need this? Is this going to work? Do I really need it? Or, you know, and oh my gosh, I'm losing, right? And that's what stopped most people from pulling the trigger. Even in the back of their mind, they're like, you know what? It probably be the right thing to do, but they're like, they are thinking about I'm losing instead of what you can potentially gain from it. All right, you guys, and that's what makes us like pulling a lot of the trigger that, you know, that we're gonna like that we're spending money now. It's cost about $20,000 to go to this collective genius. These are some power player. They're in there doing $500,000 to $1 million a month in this business, and we're going there and you know, obviously learning. And it costs money, you guys. And if we think about losing on that money, then we're not going to pull the trigger. But we knew that if we make the investment, one nugget, just one thing, you guys know what I know, one thing that you guys just need to get from it, implement it will come back in like huge return, because you know that you make one-time payment, but you can use that information again and again to generate and create the money over and over and over again.
Yeah, and you know, it's not even so. I know I don't want to sound like, you know, an advertisement for your for your script, but it's true that you have to invest in yourself. And it's not for everyone. I like that you are honest about that. Some people have not really decided that this is what they want to do, that they're going to do this. And if that's where you are, then it's not for you, because it is an investment. And I understand, like I said, I sacrificed to get it. And I did that because I did know it was an investment. It was for me, it was go to work for someone else. I just had to do it. There was no way around it. I had to do it because I didn't know how to talk to the sellers or even where to begin. So it's not for everyone. You have to be sure that this is where you want to go. and you have to do it. You can't be kind of wishy-washy. Well, I'll try it for a week, and if I don't get a deal, then I'm not gonna, continue. If that's where you are, then you're just not in the right place. You have to know that this is what you want. And I'm glad that you're honest about that it's not for everyone. It's for people who want to pull the trigger. If you're not gonna pull the trigger, then it's probably not for you. It's not so that you can just look it over. You gotta actually do it. And it doesn't do it itself. It's not a magic bullet. It doesn't, you don't buy the script and then all at once you're perfect. I wish it was. I would have done it sooner. It's just not how it works. You buy it, you watch all the videos, because there's a lot of videos in there, you watch those. I read that contract over and over again. So that that was important to me, to know what that contract said. I've been seeing that a lot on social media, people saying, oh, is this in the contract? And I'm like, read it. I don't want to be rude, but read the contract. Because people ask you a question, I'm like, read the contract. Because if you read it and you know what it says, when you're talking to the seller, especially when you get to that negotiation stage, you can then explain to them how, what the contract means. Because they'll ask you sometimes, or when they go to sign the contract, they'll say, does this mean who's paying closing costs? Or they're going to ask you about that. You need to know what that contract says. And it's very simple. You don't have to be a lawyer to do it. It's in plain English. You just need to know, like, well, we pay the closing costs, yeah. You need to know there is an out. You don't tell them that, but you need to know that for yourself. It'll make you feel better so that you don't feel trapped. I mean, you need to look through everything that you give us. You have to make the effort to look and learn it all. If you don't, then it's sitting on your computer isn't going to do anything. It's all about massive action. You get it, but you have to do the work behind it. And that's the most important thing I could say is do the work behind it. And don't be afraid to implement it. Don't be afraid to make the call. No one's going to hurt you over the phone. I mean, I've heard people get cussed out, or, someone hangs up on them. Oh, well, so what? It's not the first time anyone yelled at me. I don't know about you, but I've been yelled at before, so I'm okay with it. Big deal. So don't be afraid. They can't hurt you over the phone. And every time that happens, you learn something. You're like, whoops, okay, maybe you tweet it. So you get better and better. And don't be afraid. You cannot have fear. You have to do it. And if you make a mistake, and you will, I still make mistakes. And when you make the mistake, oh, well, you made a mistake, move on, go to the next one. Don't beat yourself up about it and think you can't do it, because you can't, because you can do it. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to say the wrong thing. You might even misquote sometimes. You might give the wrong number, and then the buyer's like, hey, this needs more. It happens. Learn from it and move on.
Gotcha. And the thing is, you guys, honestly, just what V mentioned, I don't know why this video turned into, I don't want to feel like V's on you guys to promote, to demote the King Kong seller script package or anything like that. You guys, there's no affiliate, there's no pay, there's
no affiliation.
So, but the thing is, I hope this video reached those of you who need this, because I truly, truly believe that it will change your life and your business. Okay. I truly, honestly do. And the thing is, you guys, I don't put it on sale. All right. Never. And I said it already. It's a no refund, no exchange. Do you guys why I say that? It's because I only want the people, the massive action taker. And that's why I named the Facebook family is the massive action taker wholesale to million family, because they are the one that's going to take actions. I don't want the one that's going to dip in to get their feet wet and try to, the script not work, I'm going to return it. No, I only want those of you who are going to buy it knowing that you are going to use it and take actions. I don't want you to think that you can return it, that you can try it out. I don't want this products to be for somebody that's going to try. I want this to be for someone that's going to go all in, that's going to take massive actions. I know that I can sell more if I reduce the price, but like I said, it will never, I don't reduce the price because I value people like these so much that do whatever it takes to come up with that money to make the investment, and for me to go ahead and discount. No. So the thing is, you guys, that's why I only want it to be for those of you who's willing to take massive actions and who's ready and say, Khang, you know what? I'm tired. I don't want to be in the same situations. I've been learning this business. I've been taking I've been marketing. I've been doing everything I can, but I just cannot be able to convert leads. And I only want this to be for those of you who are massive action taker and who's willing to do whatever is necessary and required from you to come up with the money to make the investment and to join the group, because the group, everyone in there, you guys, are not just talker, because there's so many Facebook group out there that you guys can join, right? There's one that's 50,000, 100,000 people, but there's people on there that are just talker. They go in there, they collect information, they share their ideas, and they just talk, but they don't actually do. That's why I create this group as private, only for the massive action taker, for people who take the product or who learn something and implement.
Well, that's important, and I want everyone to know that's watching. No, there is no affiliation. And the reason we kind of got off onto that was because this video was about what have I been doing to make it where I am now. And that was a big part of what I'm doing. And something you just said was important. I do belong to other groups, okay, like a lot of people. And the fact that a lot of people in other groups, they just talk. My big question sometimes for someone when I come across those posts is they'll give you all this advice about how you should be doing bandit sites or how you should be doing this. And I'll say to them, so how is that working for you? What did you do this month? And a lot of times they never hear back from them because they didn't do anything. They just are going on information that they're getting from this guy and this guy and this guy, and they're pushing it out there to you. But they are not even taking massive action because it's not working. They're not doing any massive action. So that's why it is important. The group was important to me, is because the people really are doing deals. And I know that because they've had the investment, they're really giving it everything they have, because, you know, you put money into it, you want to make it work. So when I got off onto that tangent, it was because I really believe, and I didn't have the script for my first deal. I couldn't afford it for my first deal. I didn't get it until after. And it has increased what I've done. So for me, you know, I had the first deal on paper, but I didn't get paid for it yet. So that's when I decided, okay, this is going to pay out. I need this script because now I need to really go. That's when I decided, okay, I got to cut my bills. I got to come up with that $495 because we didn't close yet. So I didn't have that money at the time. But I knew the value of it would help me progress. So it may not, you know, for some people it's going to be the first time, for some it's not. But it's not, it's only an endorsement in the way that for me, it helped me realize that I need to invest in myself and I need to take the action. I can't stress that enough. You have to take the action. You can't just go. I think I even did a video on our Facebook page that I was talking about how stop sitting behind your computer just listening to all these gurus. I don't even want to hear it anymore in some groups. I'm like, stop listening to these gurus, because I'll ask you, okay, that's nice that you listen to them, but what did you learn from it? What did you do? And they're like, oh, I didn't do any of it yet. I'm still researching. And I'm like, wow, you've been listening to gurus for 6 months and you haven't done anything that they've told you. What good is that? You have to do it. Because it doesn't matter who you listen to. I don't care if you're listening to Max, if you're listening to Khang, if you're listening to, you know, Ty, any of them. If you're just listening and absorbing it all and never stepping out away from your computer and actually going out there and drive for dollars and go to these people and make offers, you're just not going to do anything. You have to, it's great that they're out there to tell us, and there's a lot of free ones that are out there. You have free videos, all your videos. Look at, you're doing all those for free. But I can watch them all. If I don't act on them, I'm going to be in the same situation. I do not want that to happen to people, that they just get overloaded with information. And then they actually have the nerve to give someone else advice. That's the funny one. And I'm like, wait a second, you didn't do anything yet. You have to do it. And it doesn't matter if the information's free. It doesn't matter if it comes from the package, because you do a lot of free videos. I mean, God, you must have 100 on there. So, and that takes up your time and your effort, and I so appreciate it, and I know other people do, because that you are doing on your own time. And even if you do that, if you watch all the free stuff, you go the free way, that's great, but you still have to act on it. So I guess that's my biggest thing, is for everyone. I hope everyone acts on this coming year. I mean, this year's almost over. We're December 1st. So you have to decide, are you going to act on it or not? There's an old saying, you either do it or get off the pot. I don't want to say the word, but
Yep.
so either do it or get off. And that's what you have to tell yourself. I'm either going to do it or I'm not, and make up your mind.
Yep. And the thing is, you guys, that's why when I first started the Facebook group as well, I said, should I make it public? Should I make it private? And I decided to go private because there's, like I said, there's so many other group out there that you can join. And let me tell you guys one thing, right now, our group is just a small, tight community, a family. We're helping each other out. And the thing is, let me tell you guys, one thing I don't like is when you give information, like when people message you or ask you questions like in the group, that when you give them information, they don't do anything. And how do you, what do you think about your time that you just spent, okay, I'm going to reply to them, I'm going to tell them, and then they don't do anything. That's why I keep the group private, because I know that whoever puts their time in to answer the question, the other person that's asking is going to implement. They're going to take action. And that's why it's a massive action taker group, you guys. I mean, how do you feel when you join all these group where there's sometimes people get information overloaded, right? There's information coming from so many places. They're in so many different groups. They're hearing so much information, and all of a sudden, and someone asks the questions and someone responds to them, but they get the answer, but they don't do anything. All right, you guys. And how do you feel on the end when you spent your time to give them feedback so they can go and do it and they don't do anything?
That's true, because I have people that have contacted me and I've given them the information or told them, and then they don't act. And then on the flip side of that, I love it when I have someone who does it right away. They go out and do it. And then those are the people that I really get back to when that happens. And they could text me like as it's going on, because I know they're doing it then. I've had someone, I actually walked them through it because she was literally in the throes of it. She was like, okay, he said this, Violetta. She's texting me. And okay, so I know that this is right. How do I do this? And I helped her because I knew she was doing it. She just wasn't quite sure. She knew what to do, but she needed someone to really say, yes, keep going. You're doing the right thing. She said, should I do this? I know that I should call him back. I said, yes, you should. Go ahead. Let me know what he says. She calls him back. She calls me back. So I know that she's doing it. It's when people ask you and then they ask someone else and they ask someone else. They got 5 answers and yet they do nothing. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what more I can do. But if you're taking action, you will see results. You're going to see results.
Awesome. So V, I know. Okay, now you guys, now let's get into it just a little bit. So V, so your main source right now is Drive for $1.
Drive for $, yes. I'm going to drop letters after the first of the year, but my main source is driving for $.
Okay, so what do you do exactly when you drive for $?
Okay, so I am really specific. I go into pretty much war zone area, so I guess you would call them that. That's what people call them, but I always think of them as they're an investment friendly to me. Because someone has to live there. The houses are there. Someone's going to buy them. So I'm like, that's, to me, that you might see a boarded up house. I see a potential for landlord, and because the house is, maybe it's boarded up and maybe 3 houses next to it are not. So someone's going to buy it. They're obviously rentable. So I see it as an opportunity. And those are the ones I look for. And I also see it as an opportunity because the person's losing money. You see a boarded up house, someone's losing money on that house. They're not getting any rent. So they are going to be more motivated to sell. You want to approach them and say, hi, I see, your house is boarded up, whatever, however you're going to say it. They know that they're losing money. They have more of a motivation. Or maybe it's a probate, whatever it is, you need to find out. Versus the house that looks all done. Why am I going to do that? I really look for houses that look like either the person that's taking care of it, the landlord's absentee, they're not really around, or houses that no income's coming in. So that's what I look for. And then I contact them. I do use Deal Machine. That works for me really well. Or I use the tax rolls. Yep, or I use the tax rolls and I find out who owns it. And then I send them a letter. First, I'll try to call. I always try to call because it's better to call. You get a response right away. And then I'll send a postcard or a letter to them. telling them that I saw that the house was boarded up. You know, we buy houses in all different conditions. We always have an investor. And that's what I target. I target things that I know could make money, but they're not. And that person is paying taxes. They're losing money. And that's part of your conversation with them when you talk to them too, as you're talking. You know, like, oh, how long's it been empty? You know, oh, so you don't have any rent? And most people are like, yeah, I don't have any rent. It's terrible. Then you know that you can get a motivation out of them. Because who doesn't want to make money, or at least sell it and get rid of it? And that's basically, you know, I tell them that I have investors that work in that area. They are looking for those homes. And sometimes the people, they are sick of being a landlord, or they just don't want to dump 30, 40,000 into it. They don't have it to dump into it to make it livable. So they are your prime target. And that's how I have found them.
Gotcha. Okay.
You have to really look for houses that you see the motivation. Right.
So V, so you do,
and if you do that and you contact enough of these people, it's just a numbers game.
So V, you do drive for dollars and referral right now, right?
Referrals have been very good to me, and that's because I ask. You know, that comes back from my sales and marketing experience. Always ask for the sale.
Okay.
I ask. I have no problem asking. I always give them a couple of my cards. Even if they, let's say you go on an appointment and it doesn't end up being a deal, you don't end up doing the contract, I still give them my card and I still ask them if they know someone. You'd be surprised. Even if they just take the cards, I get calls like 2 weeks later. Oh, so-and-so told me you looked at their house. Could you come look at, could you come find out about mine? Sure. And then I just start the call, like, what's the address, blah, blah, blah. I go from there. But you have to ask for the sale. That's kind of like sales 101. You ask for the sale. So even if it's not, I ask them.
Nice.
Their mom could want to sell. You don't know.
Yeah. So V is,
their mom might have a house. How do you know? Their mother could have a house.
Yep. So V is, work out or not work out, she always plant her little seeds. She plant her seeds.
Right. Because you don't know. People don't volunteer that information. They don't say, oh yeah, by the way, my aunt has this house that no one's living in. They may not even be thinking it. But once you say to them, oh, well, is there anyone else or if you know someone, give them my card. And you'd be surprised because when you probably leave and they're probably thinking, oh yeah, the neighbor said they want to sell. Maybe I should, tell them. You have to plant that seed and you will get referrals.
Gotcha. And the thing is, you guys, if you guys do enjoy this interview and want me to continue bringing, the one that I interview on the first time when they first do the wholesale deal, kind of where they took their business to, and you guys, there are people out there that are one-hit wonder. Like they close a deal 6 months later or a year later, they close another one. Those are what I call just getting lucky because they're not thinking and taking action and taking massive actions. So to scale up your business, you guys, it requires much more to continue doing and being in the game. You got to take a lot of actions, all right? And you don't want to get lucky, all right? You want to be able to create this as a business. And so with V, what she's doing, I know she's taking a lot of actions. I know she's putting a lot of work into it, So I do definitely want to, I definitely, that's just a huge respect, V. So that's
right.
So
you have to take the action and you have to realize that it's your business. It's not, like you said, it's not a one-hit wonder. It's your business. And you have to put back into it and you have to put your time into it. You can't slack off. And even if you're working, I know there are a lot of people that work a full-time job and they still do it. And they make it successful until they can afford to quit, until they're feeling like they're steady enough. But you get into it you get out what you put in. And you have to make that decision to take action.
Gotcha.
You gotta get past your fear of taking action. I think some people are really afraid. And you have to get past that. Those are the ones that I send your video about fear. I send that out a lot.
Yeah.
People contact me and say, well, what do I do? I'm scared. I'll send that video. Like I think you said, what's the biggest mistakes? And the one is fear.
Yeah. And the thing is, you guys, it doesn't matter how much information you take in and you gather, you collect, you're trying to figure out a little single piece. Trust me, you are going to make a mistake. Why not just go ahead and just do it. All right, just do it. Get over the fear, and I promise you, it's nothing but just all in your head. So, V, so when you drive for dollars and you look at these property, how many hours are you putting out?
I usually
And how
drive,
many days are
yeah.
you doing it?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Yeah, how many hours are you putting out, and how many days are you doing it, and which day are you doing it?
Okay, so I usually drive one on the weekend. I like Saturdays. Saturdays are always good. And then I do go in the middle of the week. I usually go like 3 days a week. And I do it for about, I think of it as a job. I do it like 6 to 8 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, I really, because I only do it 3 days though. And then I follow up on them. So I really think of it as a job. It's an all day. I go out like at 9 and I come home like at 5. You know, I take a lunch break, but I really do. I go to all different neighborhoods, but I find that the lower houses, that seems to be better. But I don't not go to other ones because there's always a diamond in the rough that, you know, might be the worst house on the street and it's a nice neighborhood, because I do have buyers that now, especially now that I know more buyers that are looking for those. They're looking for that to flip. They're saying, okay, it's kind of the worst house on the block. I want it. So I do that. And then I go home and I work on them the next day.
Sure. So V, and then I know that you said you call them first. So how do you, so what program are you using for skip tracing?
I use Deal Machine. I love it because I can do it right there in real time. You know, they give you the information. So I like that. I also like, I did like my Referral. They gave me some information. And I know that people say, well, I've tried this, I've tried that, and I'm not getting good numbers. But that's just part of it. Don't let that discourage you, unless it's happening every single time. I get that too, where the numbers aren't right, you know, I mean, but that's part of the research and you've got to be prepared for that. So then you try it again. And that's when you send a letter or you door knock, whatever it takes. The majority of the numbers will be right, but I know it's discouraging when you're doing them and you're calling and it's the wrong number. Okay. And you get discouraged, and then you kind of probably, I think your momentum loses and you kind of slow down. You can't let that happen. Then start writing out the letter and sending it. You know,
Gotcha.
You can find the tax information. You can find out who the current owner is. Then send the letter. Don't just give up. You know, there's a lot of no's in this, and there's a lot of you got to really search for the person, but you can't give up. That's part of the job.
Gotcha. And the things, you guys, you know, I have people ask me, so Khang, I found vacant property. Should I call them? Should I send them a letter? Should I, like, what should I do? Do everything. Do everything you can. Yeah,
That's
do it
right.
all. I
don't care if you got to go next door. I've actually asked the neighbor, do they know the person? Because a lot of times the person next door does know the circumstance why the house is empty. Oh, yeah, she passed away and it's her son's doing it. And he hasn't done anything with the house. Oh, do you know the son's name? That's it. The neighbors always know. Let's face it. People are nosy. They know. Go and ask. Hey, I noticed the house next door to you. Oh, they'll tell you the whole life story of the person that lived in that house. You'll know everything. They went into a nursing home, or they buy it and they're not doing anything with it. They will tell you, and then you go and find out. But call if you can. Do everything until you get to that person. You know, it's part of the job.
And so see, the thing is that you like, you guys just need to think like that deal could be the deal that changed you financially, or just changed the game for you. That could be a 5,000, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, or it could be $1,000, but that could change the game for you. All right. So you got to think like that. You got to do whatever you can to see if you can connect with the seller and to see if you can get that deal. So V is from Referral. So now, V, how about buyers? Where are you getting all your buyers, and how are you building up your buyers list as well?
That is very important because, and I'll tell you, the more you talk to sellers, the better your buyers list get. I am from the school that you do not, because I hear this one too. Oh, do I need to build my whole buyers list before I do any action? No, you don't. Don't do that, because then you're not doing any action. You're too busy trying to find buyers. The first time I did it, I mean, they're just trying to find buyers, but they have no deals. You don't want to do that. So I did use, my very first start, I used like a ghost ad, like this on Craigslist, and I said, you know, I have this house in this neighborhood, and then people called me and I said, well, I don't have it anymore. What are you looking for? I did that. But that first deal that you get is so imperative because people start calling you. Everyone that calls you, you need to put them on your buyer's list. You just have to. Another thing you can do that I've done is join my local Facebook, RE, and ask them what they're looking for. They get back to you and they tell you, I'm looking for this north side, you know, and what price range? Oh, I'll pay up to 100,000 and I want 20% return. Just ask them, go to the meetings and just be honest. Say, you know, what are you looking for? And then that helps you because you can target the area. So like I said, I sometimes do it backwards. I find out what they're looking for, but then I go looking for that specific. Someone tells you they want this zip code, you'd be crazy not to the next day drive in that zip code. I mean, they're just giving you the information. Yes, V, I like this zip code, 14216. Okay, guess where I'm going to be tomorrow? I'm going to be in 14216 looking for houses. So ask and then go find it.
Mm. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So, V, so how you're building your buyers list right now is Craigslist, local RIA, Facebook, and attend the local RIA, correct?
Right. And I'll tell you something, Khang. I've done, let's see, how many have I done? I've done over 24 deals. And
unbelievable.
Out of those, I have 2 buyers that have both done at least 9 deals each. So I do a lot of repeat because I know they're very active buyers. So now I had one guy ask me if I would just deal with him because he knew the other guy and he felt like a competition with him. And I said, sorry, I don't do that. I go, no. I told him, he goes, but I'll pay you extra, you know, if you do that, because he wanted to cut the other guy out.
Right.
And I said, no, I gave him a crazy number that he'd have to give me a month. Yeah. And he was like, whoa, that's kind of high. What if you don't deliver? I said, well, if I can't tell you, I'm just going to work for you without getting that. So they're still like in competition. So I do that.
Love it, love it. And the thing is, you guys, when you do go to your local RIA or when you join the local RIA Facebook group, just search up wherever your area you're in. There should be a Facebook that's dedicated to that local area. Go to the local RIA meeting and then just go in there, and you don't have to sound like you're a pro. You don't have to sound like you're doing this for a long time, because you know why? When I first started, I was in there, and there are people. So you see, the people that you find at the local RIA could be a handyman, a contractor that's looking for his first flip. They're looking to get into buying and fixing properties. There's landlords in there, and you can just go there, and they love connect with wholesaler because that's where they know that that's the people that's going to bring in the deal. So it's okay to go in there and say, hey, my partner and I, we're looking to wholesale in this area. Just want to know what your criteria is. We're looking to spend some marketing money. We're looking to, to get some deals on a contract, want to send to you. They love it. So you don't need to go in there and act like you think like you're all like a pro. And no, just go in there. If you first started out, it's okay to go in there and say, hey, my partner and I are just starting out here. We're looking to wholesale in this area. Would love to bring you some deals. What's your criteria? It's okay, because everybody in that group, you guys, are pretty much similar. They're in there to network, to work with other people, and whoever can bring them deals. They don't care if you're new or you're experienced. They want to work with you.
That's right. And like I told you, those 2 guys are competitive because they're both really big buyers in the area. They do. They know who the other buyer is. And they even sometimes switch off properties. Like I told you, I sold one, and he actually sold it to another guy. So because the other guy wanted it, and for whatever reason, he wanted that whole block. And so they know, like when you go in those meetings, these guys know each other, and they don't care if you're new or if you've been doing it a long time. As long as you can get them the deal, they're good. And they will tell you what they want. But you just have to get out there and make connections with them. And that's what I do. I go to meetings, I go to the RE meetings. And if you have, I just want to throw this out there real quick, a property out on contract and you're asking, well, how do I find the buyer? You need to do your local Facebook too. Almost every major city has one. Put it on there, not just the Craigslist. Put it on New Jersey Facebook, so New Jersey wholesalers. Go on there and post it there because they're out there looking at those deals. At least, and at the worst, they'll contact you and you will have a new contact for the next one.
Very nice, very nice. So you guys, so that's kind of where you know, we're going to try to wrap this up. So that's kind of where V is at right now from back in June, right? Started back in June, right, V?
Right, June 15th, no, 14th.
You guys, back in June 14th, we started out $0, know nothing about real estates, decide to change her life, take massive actions, and then 6 months later, you guys took the business to almost 200 G's in wholesaling. To me, that's impressive.
I would not believe it if you would have told me back in June. I would have said, you're crazy, because it's not a get-rich scheme. It's not. I never would have thought, I mean, I put a lot of work into it. I put a lot of hours into it. I've met a lot of people in it. You have to do the work. It's not just going to hand to you. You have to do the work. I think sometimes it's more work than you think, and then sometimes it's not. It pays off. I put a lot of work in 1 month, and then I get all the referrals the next month. So, I mean, it was, that 1 month seemed so easy to me. I was like, whoa, I didn't even market anything. Look at, but I did the work the month before, and I did you know, I got referrals from it. So it balances out. You put a lot of work in, and you get back what you put into it. Because I would never have thought I could do it. I did a whole month, Khang, with not even marketing, because I was so busy with the referrals. But they came from the month before. And that's when I was really out there marketing. I sold the houses, and then people recommended me. And I was like, well, okay. But that doesn't happen all the time. Right. But if that happens even a couple times a year, I'll be happy.
Love it, V. And the thing is, I have people said, you know, maybe you're going at this for about 6 months now, or about 5, 6 months, or a year now. And you're saying, hey, Khang, you know, I did a deal here or I did a deal there, but I haven't really scaled up. Or maybe you're going at this and you're thinking about just giving up. And you're like, oh, yeah, I put in a lot of work. Well, think about this. You're willing to work for somebody 8 hours a day, 5 days a week for the whole entire year. And you're not. And now you're putting time into your business, into your future, and potential, so that way you can not work for somebody else and you complain about, oh, I'm putting so much hour, I'm not seeing results, so I'm going to quit. Like,
that's really important.
Why don't you go quit your job?
That's important. You know what? I thought about that one day because I got sick. I had the flu. And so I didn't really do much for a week. I kind of just sat on the couch and got better. But I thought about that, really affected me, because I thought if I was working for someone else, I couldn't have stayed home and said, oh, you know what, I'm sick. I gotta say, how many times if you work a job, you would never want to call it. I went into work in retail sick because I was afraid I'd lose my job if I called in.
Yep.
So you make sacrifices. I used to work 40, 50 hours for other people, especially this time of year in retail. If you're working retail right now, people, I know you're working a lot of hours because we're at Christmas time.
Yep.
I know that they're calling you, telling you, oh, can you put in this hours? Can you?
Yep.
So you're kicking your butt, working for someone else. And, you know, I know everyone needs a paycheck, but you have to think of it this way. You have to put the same time in for yourself to have the freedom. And if I'm willing to work 50 hours for the store number X, why am I not doing that for myself? So that when I do get sick, guess what? I get sick, I say, you know what? I'm going to lay down for a week and I'll get back up and just restart. You know, it doesn't really hurt me. But I have the freedom to do that because I work for myself. And I never would have that when I was working for someone else. And I was putting in a lot of time and a lot of money and getting paid a fixed amount a year. Well, I'm worth more than that. I'm worth more than that. So, and the only way that I can get it is if I do it for myself. And that to me is a big difference. I like working for myself. If I don't make money, it's on me. Yeah, it's on me. I have to get out there and do it.
Awesome. V, thank you so much. And I want to say congrats for just taking massive actions and making it turn this business and getting it to where it is today. I know that you're going to get up to that 50 to 100,000 per month. No problem. I'll bring you back sometime, you guys, in the summer or so next year, and we'll see where V is at, or maybe toward the end of 2019. But I want to wrap this up. So V, any tips or advice for people who either wants to grow their business or who just getting into the business?
Okay, so if you're just getting in, my biggest tip is do it. Don't overload. Don't try to know it all. You're not going to. Don't say, I gotta wait till I get an LLC. I gotta wait till I know everything. I gotta wait till I know the title company. If you watch my first video, watch it. I say, when I got that first deal, I didn't even know what title company I was gonna use. I do nothing. I just had to go and do it. I got the contract and then I worried about that. Your first priority is getting the contract. Forget about everything else. You don't need everything in order. You don't need to know it all. What you do need to know is the numbers and get the contract signed. That's all you need to do. Once that happens, you go forward. But stop worrying about things. Stop trying to do step 5 when you haven't gotten step 1. Get the contract. If you're trying to grow your business, then you need to make the investment. You need to make the sacrifice to put the money back in, because like you said, the marketing and knowing about how to train a VA, all of that is going to grow your business. But to do that, you need the money. So you need to invest back into your own business. So don't splurge, put it into your business. Splurge in your business. Get the best leads you can. Get the best, whatever that takes. Splurge there. You know, you need a new CRM, whatever it is. You need a new microphone to do videos. Whatever it is that you need.
I know everyone is saying, Khang, you need this, you need this. You know, the thing is, like, I can go and get the nice camera and on all that. It's just that when I first started, I just want to prove to people that you don't need to have all the nice big equipment to start. You just need to start and then just start.
That's like I tell people, you don't need the best. You don't need to worry about the outside. You don't need to be worrying about, get a website, you know, to get the basics, you know, like Kara does it. Get business cards. They don't need to be fancy. You don't need to spend a fortune on $9.99 for 500. Just get your name and what you do and put it out there. Get what the basics, and then worry about scaling up. So scale up, use the money from your business and scale up. But don't be afraid to take action. Don't say I can't do a contract because I don't know what title company I'm going to use. Are you kidding? Who cares? Just get the contract. Sign the contract. And then ask for help about title companies. Well, what title company do you use? It doesn't matter what title company I use. People ask me that. I'm starting out, what title company do I use? Did you get a contract? No. I'm like, well, get the contract and then call me back. That is your priority, to get the contract. And if you're scaling up, your priority is to put money back in. That's my advice, folks.
V, you guys, I can't say it any better. I truly enjoy this interview, V. Thank you so much for your precious time to jump on, V. Now let's wrap it up. If people want to connect with you, V, let them know how, please.
Okay, so the same, they can reach me at my emails. My last name, you can put it and drop it in. It's my last name, and then Viola, CHRISTENSEN, VIOLETTA@gmail.com. So
awesome.
And thanks again, Khang. I text you and talk to you, but I want to do another interview when I'm at 50,000. Come on.
You got it. You got
Okay.
it. So when you get there, if it's sooner, text me and then we'll get you back on again.
And
you guys, V has such a big heart. You know, she's definitely, I mean, hands down, definitely a go-giver. All right, you guys, definitely a go-giver. But let me tell you, for those of you who understands this, let me tell you something. You can ask people to help you once to twice, but please, you guys, let's show the other person who you are and your character. Don't just go ask for free stuff. Do something in return to let the people know that you value them, you thank them, that you appreciate it. All right, just let me tell you that. All right, because when people get free things, they come back for free, they come back for free, they come back for free. It just really shows your character, and it's really hard to build and get into you know, the circle of people that are, you know, that they can see that. That's all I'm saying. So
do the work. That's another one. Do the work and then ask. You know, at least try to look it up, because that shows someone too that, like, when people text me, I'm always like, did you see a video? I will help you if you cannot find it. Believe me, I have no problems, because I know sometimes there are questions that we don't know, and I'll ask somebody else. But do the work. You know, do the work. Know the business. You have to put the effort in. Someone else cannot do this for you. If you want that, then you might as well work for someone else.
Agree. You guys, V, once again, congrats. And when you get 50 G's a month, hit me up. We'll get you back on.
I'm going to do it by spring. I'm determined to do it.
I love it. You guys, if you're new to the channel, you haven't subscribed yet. If you are watching all this way, I don't know what you're waiting for. Smash the subscribe button, you guys. Smash that thumbs up. And also, too, is turn on your bell notification when I upload a video like this or I go live, that you guys don't miss out on this. And, you know, the whole thing to wrap this up is implement, take massive actions. Without actions, there is no results. All right, you guys, take care. Every single one of you guys have a great weekend. I look forward to seeing you guys on live tomorrow for Sunday Q&A. But
yeah, happy holidays. Happy New Year.
Yep, happy holidays. Thanks, V.